Hi everyone, it's Denise Dressbling. Today is September 10th, and that means it's World Suicide Prevention Day. So recently on my blog, I've talked about the Semicolon Project and my new tattoo. It's a semicolon. A semicolon is a place where an author could have ended a sentence, but chose instead to continue it. You are the author, and the sentence is your life. You'll see a whole bunch of people today on social media posting pictures and talking about their struggles. And here are some really scary facts about suicide. An estimated 1 million people commit suicide each year. That's 3,000 people that are going to die today by their own hand. That's 3,000 that died yesterday and 3,000 that are going to die tomorrow. That is just... I am so shocked and heartbroken by this number. I didn't even know it was that high until I started researching things to make this video. If that's not bad enough, for every person that succeeds in committing suicide, there are 20 who have failed. That's 1 every 3 seconds. Another person just tried to kill themselves. And another. Suicide is the #1 cause of death for people 15 to 24. More people die from suicide than war or murder. It's the 13th leading cause of death worldwide. Does anyone else think it's strange that we don't hear about this? I mean, there's a ton of media coverage for wars and for murder, but unless it's a celebrity, you really don't hear about people committing suicide on the news. Does it take a big name for us to talk about this? I don't know. I just think there's something wrong with that. Think about this for a minute. We all remember September 11th, 2001. Tomorrow is actually the 13th anniversary. But stop and think back to that time for a minute. There was TV shows, documentaries, books, movies. You really couldn't go anywhere or do anything without hearing about it, and that lasted for weeks. No, I mean, of course, that was a huge tragedy, so yeah, we're gonna talk about it, but do you know how many people died on September 11th? 3,000. That's how many people die every day from suicide. Okay, now granted, that is something just in the US versus something worldwide, but still, that's a lot of people. And if we only talk about the US for a minute, 40,000 people die from suicide each year. That's 100 a day. Those people are your neighbors, your friends, your coworkers, your family. So what can we do? We can talk about it, sure. Get people to understand what it's like to deal with depression and suicidal thoughts. But is talking about it really enough when you're at rock bottom? There are some really practical things you can do if you're feeling depressed. Some of the more well-known ones are therapy and medication. They work really great for a lot of people. There are a ton of websites out there with forums and groups and people to talk to who are going through the same thing you're going through. There's a really good chance that somebody in your world, either in real life or online, is feeling what you're feeling right now. Find that person, talk to them. They might just be waiting for somebody to seek them out. I know it can be really hard to pick up the phone or get on the computer. Sometimes if you're depressed, you can't even get out of bed. There are some really simple things you can do to feel better, even if it only makes you feel better enough to get up and go talk to somebody. So first, make sure you're eating right. I know there's the whole cliche about drowning your sorrows in a tub of ice cream, and yeah, we all do it. It's a thing. But if you're eating nothing but sugar and junk food all day, your body is not gonna feel good. Drink a ton of water, like constantly. I have a huge thing of water that sits on my desk and I drink it all day. I go through like 4 or 5 times. Water, you know this, it's just good for you. It cleans out your body, it hydrates you, and it really just makes you feel good for some reason. It's just water. Get enough sleep. But don't get too much sleep. Have you ever noticed on a weekend when you get like 10 to 12 hours of sleep, you actually feel more tired? There is such a thing as too much sleep, and it's really easy to do. Most adults need between 7 and 8 hours, so make sure you're hitting that number, because if you're feeling tired and you're going to add fatigue on top of everything else, it's going to be that much harder to deal with anything that comes your way. Exercise. I know. If you know me, you're thinking, what? Because I totally don't do this. Every once in a while, I'll put on a Zumba DVD and I'll dance around like an idiot, but that's really about it. And you don't even have to do proper exercise. You don't have to go to the gym or get some fancy equipment. Turn on your Wii. Get up and dance around to some goofy pop song. Just make sure no one's watching. Feed your spirit and your soul. Whatever it is that you do for your spiritual self, do it. If you go to church, go. Read your Bible, pray, whatever you need to do. Go outside and enjoy nature. Sometimes just taking a walk is enough to get things outside of you and get your mind on something else. You knew I was going to bring this one up, but write something. I can't tell you how many times I was having a crappy day. I sat down, I wrote a blog post about it, and I felt better. Now, this doesn't have to be anything good. You don't even have to show anybody. It's not the next great American novel. Write a short story, a poem, a journal entry, whatever. Just scribble an angry letter that you never send. Whatever it is that gets it out of you. You don't have to show anybody. It's catharsis only. Burn it if you have to. And my personal favorite, give back. There's just something about helping other people, especially when it's something that you struggle with, that really just helps you. There's a ton of organizations out there. Right here in PA, there's a great one called Please Live. They have all kind of resources and help available. Find one, volunteer, just get out and do something, and it'll make you feel better. Whatever you do and whatever you're going through, don't give up. There are people who love you and want you around. Even if things seem impossible and hopeless, just hang in there. I've been there and I'm still here, and I can tell you it will get better. Don't give up. Don't end your story.